to start off, what I'd like to do is introductions of the characters. We'll start with Emma, if you would introduce your character.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Emma. I am playing 𝒂𝒹𝒃𝒁 Athene, a half-drow, half-boon elf, arcane trickster rogue. She is a little fighter for the people. They have a little band of urchins and outcasts and other such outliers of society, a little disenfranchised youth, if you may. And they have just kind of banded together. They try to make their little lives as enriched as possible and help kind of pick up other people in that same sort along the way. I think they currently have 4 children under the age of 20 with them right now, just like that they're taking care of, making sure it gets fed. And her kind of goal in life right now is to just make sure that her and hers are taken care of, keeping the streets clean, keeping those elves fed.
For the children.
Yep.
All right, next up, let's go with Beeps. Would you like to do an introduction?
I'm Beeps, also known as Beard Princess. I will be playing the Gourmand. He is a half-orc chef who has spent most of his life traveling the world and exploring unconventional cultural cooking techniques and dishes, and writing his book and honing his culinary craft before settling down and working in fine dining while establishing a sort of soup kitchen to feed the underprivileged of the city.
Here
Does
to
drugs
free...
sometimes too.
Yeah, a little bit of drugs, a little bit of feeding the disenfranchised youths.
Yep.
Getting into fight with nobles who think they're better than him, you know.
But once again, it tends to be for the children.
For the children!
Next, Witty, if I could get you to do an introduction.
Yeah, I'm Witty, also known as Whittle Goblin, and they've been talking about disenfranchised youth and the children, and that's 𝒂𝒾𝒶𝓁. She is a gnoll who, growing up in gnoll society, she just did not fit in. She's a little sweetheart, and ended up slipping away in the night one of these days, and she thankfully found 𝒂𝒹𝒃𝒁 and is a crime baby now. She's just a little sweet crime puppy.
Yeah, crime puppy, crime puppy.
Crime puppy.
All right, and then my name is Merlon. I will be the game master for today's session. On top of that, I have a recurring NPC that is with the group. His name is Javon, and so I will be occasionally playing Javon as we go through this, as it is one of 𝒂𝒹𝒃𝒁's companions. Javon can be defined as a wholesome drow himbo who is sweet and precious and doesn't speak common. And so he is a newcomer to the world that they are participating in, and is just there to have a good time, spend time with 𝒂𝒹𝒃𝒁, and try not to get into trouble. And so, as we move into our game, the group has been working with Gourmand to prepare the kitchen for the evening's feeding of the disenfranchised youths. And so this morning, the 4 of you, with Javon included, have gone out into the marketplace of Waterdeep, which is where our story begins. And you are in the markets of Waterdeep, trying to gather all of the deliveries that you have placed. Your first stop is a shop called the Precious Pie Hole, whereas you are going
Just
to
like
be
me
getting...
for real.
Oh my god.
Is where you normally get your orders of fresh ground flour and other baking goods. And so we will take part in. You have entered the market. You have a list of things for you to go and gather, whatever you think that might be. You've been to the markets before. There are a couple of streets of stalls of different vendors and pop-up shops and tents that have been set up with food and goods galore, all local sourced, handmade. This is in an in-between part of the city, about center of the city, where it's not quite the area that you feed the children in, where it is the lower class part of the city. This is more middling, a safer part of the city. There's not as much crime. It's a bit more to do, but it's not quite the noble business that is your fine dining establishment. And so we will go into the market.
To the market.
To the market. 𝒂𝒶𝒁𝒶. You misplace some of your jewelry as you're going to bed the previous evening. As you wake up, you notice that there's something here that you don't remember having on your person. Whether it was scattered amongst all of the places where you would have stored your jewelry, or maybe you didn't realize it but accidentally took it from someone else, or somebody gave it to you. You have a ring that looks like it is inset with a like little puzzle pieces that you can click into place. It's gold, and each of the puzzle pieces are made out of a light green gemstone.
My God, you got a fidget toy. Let's go.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
It is essentially a fidget toy.
Yeah.
A fidget ring.
Wow.
It has 3 charges. Every time you expend a charge, or I guess when you make an intelligence check, you can expend a charge to grant yourself advantage on that check.
Ooh.
And it regains 1d4 minus 1 charges every day.
Nice.
Wow.
It is known as the Ring of Puzzler's Wit.
Very cool.
That's hot.
I like it.
The gourmand kicks down the door to the pie hole and goes, I need the ingredients right now. I don't know when the freeze will happen again.
Roll me a strength check.
Oh, God. Fuck. Where's my... There it is. Okay. -1. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
10.
10. All right, so the unlocked door explodes inward, and you startle an old lady who's standing at the counter, and she drops a bag of flour, and it explodes up across the room. And there's a man behind the counter looking over, just blinking.
Flour,
Yeah.
milk, eggs, now!
The old lady screams as this half-orc kicks in the door and starts to raid the shop that she's in.
I just throw a bag of gold after, like, just filling my hands up at the shopkeeper. I'm like, I have to go! I gotta go!
Oh my.
Speed run!
𝒂𝒶𝒁𝒶 looks at the little old lady and goes, I'm so sorry. There's a huge bug on the door, and he's so
She
scared of
screams
bugs.
again.
No. Oh, do I not have my muzzle on? Oh no.
Even if you had a muzzle on.
You can have it on if you want.
So the situation unfolds. This quiet farmer's market bakery has the door kicked in by a half-orc and a gnoll,
And 2 drow.
and 2 drow demanding for goods before the freeze comes.
Oh my god. Alorna's like, I'm really very sorry. He's not feeling well. The gold. She notices that the bag of gold kind of like hit the counter, but also kind of like tinkled some off of the side and hit the floor. And so she darts down there and kind of picks them up off the ground and sets them on the counter. I'm really genuinely very sorry, and backs out.
The man,
The freeze!
the man behind the counter is just wide-eyed, staring at your group. How much flour do you need?
Please don't put drugs in our package. We're fine. We don't need drugs in that.
He blinks a couple of times and looks over at 𝒂𝒶𝒁𝒶. Uh,
No, we don't want them. That would be
Oh.
bad.
yes. He's like looking around and realizes that there's only one door in and out of this place. Um,
We
how
have intimidated the
many?
fuck out of this guy, huh?
how much do you need?
Where is the gourmand right now?
Are there like goods like sitting out in front of it that I could start scooping out?
No, so this is more of a like a miller, like the spot, like you mill your flour and then you bring it to a shop to sell. This is just the shop, so there's not like goods sitting about. This is just where they take the orders. Typically, this is a place where like you would know because you come here for this reason. Restaurants would buy in mass many pounds of flour. And
Right.
then you would go to the pickup location, typically behind this spot where everything is stored in a safe place.
Okay. What are we? We're stocking up the soup gazpacho, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
the gazpacho kitchen.
Gazpacho kitchen. Yeah.
That's what we call the soup kitchen for the children. I don't know why we did gazpacho because it's fancier than soup, I
Yeah.
guess.
I think
Oh,
so.
I think it changes every time, doesn't it? Every time it's brought up, you'll give it a new
something
name.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our bed and breakfast for children.
So you would have had an amount already like pre-written. You know how much you need. So even though like you as a player may not have an idea, you would know about how many pounds of flour you would need to get you through the next week.
Okay. I need 4 20-pound sacks. Stat! The freeze, my boy. The freeze.
He goes and writes down on a piece of paper. Yes. Around the corner at the back of the building, and he hands you the receipt and kind of takes the bag of gold. Doesn't count.
I just yank it and start running, and I'm going, the freeze!
Aloranel is
And so-
looking at 𝒂𝒶𝒁 with wide, incredulous eyes. Do you think he kept any of the Fey dust? Whatever the fuck it was called.
He's got so much flour on him, I genuinely do not know. Could be.
Good gods. All right, well then, let's just try to keep him out of trouble. We're going to make it to where we can't buy provisions from anyone ever again, if this is going to be the way it behaves.
Does
tried to
everybody
explain.
follow?
I'm so sorry, Merlon. Say that again.
Does everybody follow the gourmand as he screams the freeze and
We have
like
to.
football star
He's like our
runs down the
dementia
alleyway?
grandpa right now. Also,
Okay,
Alfred, thank
Peepaw,
you.
let's get your flour.
Oh,
Bird freeze!
Peepaw.
It's coming!
Orc Peepaw.
Orc Peepaw!
Orc Peepaw.
Orc Peepaw.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Aloranel's gonna try to like usher 𝒂𝒶𝒁. I don't know where Javon is, but she is going to like run over and slip a hand beneath his bicep and tug him along.
Javon does not fight the tug. He's not understanding the words that are being said, but he is quite confused
She
at
switches to
the
Elvish.
way things are going on.
She switches to Elvish so that he can understand her. The gourmand is feeling a little under the weather. He's screaming a lot, and we need to make sure that he doesn't scream quite so much that it frightens the people that we do business with, because then we can't do business with them anymore. So let's go catch him, shall we?
Javon just kind of nods and says, "Did we steal from this baker?"
No. It does look like that, but we did not. We left a large sack of gold. We really should catch up to him.
Javon will take off. 𝒂𝒶𝒁, are you following along as well?
Yeah, I'd be following, knowing that we're picking up flour. 𝒂𝒶𝒁's just following, ready to be handed big sacks of flour. She's just
All right.
trying to be helpful.
So, let me take a moment to break down this scene currently. So,
Please,
have kicked
do.
in-
Thank you.
we have kicked in the door of a well-known, established, like baking shop. In the middle of the morning, in broad daylight, with a half-orc, a gnoll, and 2 drow youths, screaming obscenities about drugs and the freeze, causing an old woman to likely need to go get therapy.
Good for her.
And potentially paying somebody an absurd amount of money for what was likely less than a gold or 2 worth of goods.
It's the hush money.
So we've got a gang of rebellious youths running through the marketplace.
Look.
Does that sound about right?
No, a Lorinel is on as much damage control as one little half-drow can manage. I'm
yelling at the workers behind the back to hurry up and get me my sacks of flour because the freeze could come at any moment.
Someone please go stop him. We're running up to catch up.
As you run down the alleyway, you're passing through the cobbled alley on your way to the promised goods, when your body picks up a deep chuckle that resonates within you. However, when you look back the way you came, you realize the stone streets of Waterdeep are now gone. In its place are rows of stalls, tents, and vendor carts filling a clearing in the middle of a deep, dark forest. Many of these stalls seem to be built right out of the trees and the foliage themselves. And you're no longer within the walls of Waterdeep, but somewhere else. There's a sense of pressure on you as you're now all standing there, having passed through this portal to another place. And you hear the sound of birds and insects and people. Interesting and unique smells that don't quite make sense to you. All of the colors are incredibly vivid, brighter and darker at the same time. There's hues that make your head just itch a little bit when you look at it. And you're now somewhere else entirely. In a marketplace still, it looks, but not the one you were going to.
Is that all of us or just...
That is all of you.
So I'm sitting there yelling at dock workers.
And there's... In one moment, you're looking around to yell at some workers, and then the next, it's a couple of otter people walking around.
I go, ah! And then I start slapping myself, just like wiggling my fingers and then I go. I whip my head back and start looking for the others.
Who am I closest to? I think I started running before, so maybe Beeps?
Yeah, so you're closest to Beeps.
I would, I'd run up to Gourmand and be like, I don't feel well. I think I'm having, and I think I need to lie down. I think something's really wrong.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Some of them? Oh God, 1.
Okay, it's not the freeze.
Wait, are you seeing this?
Seeing what?
I would just turn and be like, Otter.
We're at the flower shop. Getting flour.
No. It's not that anymore, though. Do you see this market?
You sound crazy right now.
Oh God, Vyakitsa lies down on the ground.
Vyakitsa,
oh no.
Gourmand just starts cracking the fuck up.
Just gaslighting Vyakitsa.
I'm just kidding. I see it too. This is weird.
Vyakitsa lays down in the grass, and it's warm and soft. It smells of not fresh dew, but of a similar kind of nice fresh smell. And as you're looking around, you notice that the sky is starting to get darker. You notice that sun is setting, and fireflies are popping all over, becoming the source of the light. And as you're laying there, you hear the sounds of a cart rumbling across a stony path, and you see that there's just this frog folk dressed with a large toadstool. He probably stands about 3 feet tall, fairly thin, wearing a wide-brimmed toadstool as a hat with little charms dangling off of it.
How cute.
And you see that he's just got jars of fireflies attached to sticks on his cart.
Love him.
And he's just kind of rumbling about, moving forward.
Are they bullywugs or are they different?
Do you know? Does Aloranel know what a bullywug is?
I'm gonna roll for it.
Okay.
She has no idea what a bullywug is.
Okay.
Would I be able to tell if this kind soul was a frog or a toad?
You would need to give me a nature roll.
To roll.
So roll it and then re-roll it.
Cock
And you have to
balls.
take the second.
All right. Well, the first one is modified 20.
But you have to take the second roll.
Yeah,
Is that how
and
this
the
works?
second one
Yep,
is
Yep.
cocked 14.
Right.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
So, with a 14, you're able to look and notice that this is definitely a frog person
Okay.
and not a toad person.
Am I in the way of his
Ow.
cart?
You're not in the way of the cart, but he is passing by within just a couple of feet. And at this point, Aloranel and Javon come out of the alleyway into the open air, the clearing where you are at now. It's more like they step around the tree nearby, and then they're here, like they were hiding behind it.
Lorna is looking around like this is not reality. She is stepped a half step closer to Javon because now it is a situation that they are not familiar with. We don't know who is here, what is here, where is here. And so she has kind of pressed closer and is looking around, but she spots 𝒂𝒃𝒶 and the gourmand and jogs over with Javon in tow.
Javon follows along. However, you notice that he just kind of subconsciously pats for where his sword would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he realizes that he does not have it with him.
Yeah, because we can't walk around Waterdeep, swords out.
So the group of y'all have all arrived. There's a frog vendor who is slowly getting further and further away.
Oh no.
Are you
you're
seeing this? Are you seeing this right now?
Did you? You didn't keep any of that stuff, did you? The Zens.
No. It's all up here.
Do you know where we are?
I know one thing, and one thing only. There's a sick-ass frog over there selling sick-ass fireflies, and I want to go check it out. Excuse me, my good frog folk.
Oh my god. Alornel is literally face in hand for a good few seconds. Is he already like running off?
Oh, yeah.
She
He's
looks
only
at
a couple
𝒂𝒃𝒶.
of steps away.
Yeah.
𝒂𝒃𝒶 looks up at you, still on the ground.
Oh,
Like, I think we died.
are you alright? She like
No, I think we're
offers a
dead.
hand to help her up if she wants.
I reach a hand up like I don't expect to actually be able to touch you, and I'm like, okay, maybe not, and I'll let you pick me up.
I don't know if this is magic or something gone awry, but this certainly isn't Waterdeep.
I'm just having a back and forth with this frog, and then I have one of the jars, and I just look over at the guys, and I'm just like,
We need to go.
We should ask that
look
frog
at this
where
cool
we are.
thing!
We really should.
And I also kind of want to see what Beeps has because that does actually look kind of cool.
All right, let's go. As they
I
walk
want one.
over, Lorinel is translating that into Elvish. None of us are quite sure where we are. I don't imagine you have any idea, do you?
Siobhan looks around. Let me pull up a dice roller. Because I don't think Siobhan is trained in the skill you need to be for this.
But I know of his knowledge base, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a good bet. So Siobhan is an NPC not only in this campaign running, but also in our general lore set of our characters. So he's making a fun little special appearance for us in Waterdeep.
So Siobhan rolled a 19.
Ooh!
He has no bonuses towards this. And so Siobhan's past was spent living in a mansion in the middle of an island that he was never allowed to leave the mansion or the mansion grounds. And so he spent all of his time reading books. And that's really all he did with his spare time was read books, learn how to play instruments, and pretend to fight. And so you ask Siobhan this question, and he looks about. He goes, I think that we were teleported to another plane.
Another
But
plane of existence.
yes, like perhaps the Feywilds.
This looks like the setting of some of my fairy smut.
Oh my god. Best
God,
ability.
can you fucking imagine this fucking half-orc, this gnoll, 2 drow, kick down the door, throw a shit ton of gold over, yelling about the freeze, round the corner, boom, they're gone.
Oh my god.
The guards come rushing over, and there's just nobody. They're like following the tracks, and it's like footsteps, nothing. And they're like, what the fuck?
The old lady's like running after them with the guards in tow. The dude like rounds the corner, like, yeah, they're over.
We
Guards
think we're
are like-
having a shared hallucination, and so do they. We're all just
Yeah. The guard's like, what drugs are you putting in the flour? This old lady's hallucinating.
Oh, God.
You
It's
have
been a while
all
since I switched over. But...
approached our first NPC in this area. The cart stops. The frog gentleman with his, again, he's kind of got almost like it's a like old school samurai armor with the big wide hat, but it's like a toadstool with just little charms dangling off. He kind of like turns, and the charms on the toadstool hat kind of jingle lightly in the air. Exactly.
Ooh, thank you.
And he looks over at all of you and just waits.
Alora now and Siobhan are running up at a nice brisk jog to the gourmand and the really cool frog man who is showing him a jar of something, yeah?
Yes,
So the frogman was waiting.
Oh.
Yeah, so I ran up and I was like, my good frog folk, what are you purveying today? It looks whimsical and wonderful.
The frog looks you up and down. These are fireflies. Brr. They are for lighting your journey. Brr.
How much for one firefly light?
Tell me a joke.
A joke, you say? So a half-orc and an elf walk into a bar. They both say, ow, my head! Get it?
There's a long pause as this frog gentleman makes the hardest eye contact with you
And
you have ever
Gourmand's just
felt.
like,
And there's it's like 1, 2, and just this dead serious look. And then at 4, makes this enormous ribbit noise that you can only assume to be laughter as it sits there and its throat just kind of engorges and lets the noise out over and over as it makes this call into the air. And after that, it looks at you. Burp. Very good. And then hands you a jar on a stick.
capital. Thank you so much. Now, where are we?
And he just starts moving off.
Balls.
Alornell
Look
places
what I got.
a few fingers
Ooh.
on the gourmand's elbow.
Hmm.
Siobhan thinks we're in the Feywilds.
I know.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Look.
Have you been here before?
Oh, I've traveled all sorts of places to study different cultures and cuisine, and what better place to study vegetables and fruits and the culmination of all of them than the Feywild.
You didn't think to stop and perhaps tell us where we were?
Oh, this place runs on whimsy and chaos.
Well, I think you're in the right spot. But what if we wanted to get
Exactly! Ha ha! Now take this! I'll
She
hand
has
the...
So the stick in the jar just kind of like moves forward and left and right on its own as they're not quite fireflies. They're the same concept, but they're a bit bigger. They emit a lot more light. And they're just kind of like pushing the jar around, but it emits a light similar to a torch. A gentle, warm glow all around you as the night starts to get darker. And that's when you see that these fireflies naturally are just kind of scattered throughout, kind of highlighting the different ways that you can go, almost like guiding lights along the road. But they're just kind of hovering about, moving somewhat aimlessly, you think. And as you're kind of looking about and noticing this, the cart just kind of continues around, and he's passing stalls. There are stalls everywhere. And he just keeps on going, and you see that it just kind of curves, and he goes around this curve and he disappears.
Do you know where in the Feywilds we are?
That's hard question to answer even if I've been here before. Because where is here? You know?
Does it change?
Does it change, Merlin? Would I know that? Have I been here before? Would I know where we are?
Roll me a history check.
History check!
Now, also, remind me if I'm giving y'all skills that are not D&D skills, because I'm a fucking nerd and forget
Yeah,
D&D
yeah.
versus...
We play Vampire
VTM.
Masquerade.
Like a bunch of fucking nerds.
We're kissing
7.
vampires.
With a 7, I'm going to say you've not been here and you don't know where you are. What I'll give you with just your general knowledge is that you're pretty sure that this isn't anywhere near the Unseelie Court.
Okay.
Just based on the vibes.
Okay. I know
Outside of
exactly
that-
where we are. Follow me.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, perhaps we'll... Wait, doesn't time work differently here? Isn't time
Could I answer that
different?
with any sort of
She turns to
effectiveness?
Siobhan and she repeats the question in Elvish.
Siobhan thinks about it for a second, does not have an answer for you. However, Gourmand can give me a... Go ahead and give me another Arcana or History check.
Okay. That is a natural 1.
With a natural 1, What I'll tell you is you are positive that time is fucked. But you don't know how.
Right.
It is different every time, and every place, and every win.
Yes. Much
Well,
different.
That's not good. We have to go and pick Finn and Aaron up. And I don't even know if my fucking timepiece is working anymore. We had to pick them up a few hours from when we're supposed to be when we were at the market. Who's going to pick them up?
When we were. Like that. It'll probably be fine.
More will realize that we're not doing that they're not home and she'll go get them. But that doesn't really help us. If you know where we are, you can get us home, correct?
Oh, not at all.
She looks like you popped her in the face. What do you mean?
It's the Feywild. That's what I mean. Where is when? How is yes? Up is tomorrow.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
With that,
Damn it.
you hear something in the distance. A voice, a lighter voice, very feminine, coming from the distance. Extra, extra. Hear all about it. By decree of... There's a pause. His Majesty, Lord Callum, Another pause. The Grand Maestro of Fun. New festivities will be starting tonight. Battle the prawn. Fight the heat. Hide and seek. Win it all to gain his favor.
Well, I made a carnival.
That sounds like a trap.
Games?
Let's do it.
And if you look off towards this voice, you see what looks to be a small goblin lady standing in a little crossroad, waving some flyers.
Yukitsu would run up and grab one, and then just be like, I'm sorry, do I have to give you money for this?
You run up and grab it, and she just kind of blinks a couple of times at you. She's a thin but bright-eyed goblin? ? It's not clear. She doesn't look like any goblin that you've seen before. She looks a little too human, but still goblin. She's dressed in billowy pants beneath a long leather jerkin that seems to have been repaired too many times. A white cotton long-sleeve shirt pokes out from the jerkin with just bursts of color. She has long braided lavender hair, and her large pierced ears fall gently down the side of her head instead of sticking up like you've seen goblins that you've encountered in the past. And as she looks up at you and smiles, there are these two small incisors that just barely poke out past her lips. And she says, "Oh no, those, you can have one. Are you new here?" She asks Yukitsu.
Yeah, where is here?
Oh, well, this is Frendel.
Frendel. How did you know that I was new?
Most people don't just take things in the Feywilds. It's kind of frowned upon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm still accepting that this is real.
Oh, you're fine. When you didn't run away, I figured that you just didn't know.
Oh, well, thank you for telling me that. Oh, I feel bad. I feel
no, you're fine. It's
give
okay.
you something. And she's like looking through her pockets for something.
As you start doing that, she starts eyeing what you're doing, and like you see that there's an interest in this. And then she goes, "One of the other rules is reciprocity."
Oh, yeah. Yukitsu's actually gonna be like, you know what? I found this and I don't know where it came from. Do you want this? And she's gonna take the ring. don't know what it does, but it's neat. Do you want this?
She takes it and she looks at this. Yeah.
Rings don't usually
And
fit
then
my hands.
puts it on her finger. Thanks.
That looks nice.
Oh, what's your name?
I'm 𝒑𝒾𝒶.
Oh,
Who are you?
𝒑𝒑𝒶. Everybody just calls me Gobs.
Oh, hi, Gobs. I like that.
The gourmand is
Thanks.
just standing behind, like really, really, really intently listening to this conversation, like almost like unsettlingly antithetical to how he's been acting literally this entire time.
So
Like-
what's happening? She like picks this up, like the paper that she
Oh.
took.
So, Lord Callum is holding some more games tonight. More games. You're new. The town, the market here, Frendel likes to hold games to entertain Lord Callum. She looks back down at the poster, the Grand Maestro of Fun, for his entertainment. And so there's some new games tonight.
Are you gonna play them?
Oh, I don't have a team. I just kind of work this. And she just kind of shrugs and looks at her stack of handouts.
Oh. I need a
Are you
team.
working willingly?
Give me an insight roll.
You gotta re-roll it. Second one's yours.
Cock and balls. Okay.
Wait,
Thank
Okay,
you.
How many
that's
do you have to
cool.
re-roll?
Just that one.
That's a 5. All right, re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
See, it might be a good thing. Feywilds.
Natural 20.
Whoa!
With a natural 20, when
Whoa.
she says yes, you hear
Yep.
you hear it.
Mhm.
There is What I'll
yes,
give
with
you
a
with an-
question mark.
what I'll give you with a natural 20 as somebody that has been to the Feywilds in the past and might have a slight bit of knowledge in that. It's likely that she is under contract, whether willingly or not. And that's because of the way that contracts work in the Feywild.
Mhm.
Typically, you can get under contract by trading something without realizing it, stealing something, or just agreeing to something in the wrong way. And so
Mhm.
Fae will use all of those to get people to be contracted. It could be something else, but that tends to be the case. And so you're positive that this is not something that is a choice she's making for herself.
Hold up,
Now,
hold
whether
up,
it is a
hold up,
result
real
of her
quick.
action. Oh,
Necro has changed this Fey NPC's mood.
oh, okay.
Whatever that means to you.
You ask the question, Beeps, and she looks over at you. No.
No. How did he get you?
She looks down at the ground. I tried to summon something to help
Hmm.
and I created a pact, but
Ooh.
not the kind that I was hoping for.
Hmm.
Is this a warlock baby? Alornel has
Are you
since-
asking that?
No. Walked up with
Okay.
Siobhan and they're listening. This individual speaking in Common or Sylvan?
Common.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that was what 𝒑𝒑𝒶 would have started with, is
Mhm.
common.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure Alornel has heard the tail end of the conversation at least. And so she's got her arms bolted over her chest. She seems a little suspicious of what's going on because she doesn't necessarily understand everything. But she's flicking a narrowed gaze between people as they speak.
So these games, is he trying to indenture more people? Are they just blood sport for his entertainment? Simply,
She says, They're really just for his entertainment. As long as you win, it's likely why you're here. And she kind of frowns sadly at the four of you. As you're talking with Gobs, there's a flash of light, and the world vibrates for a moment. And you see Gobs kind of look about, and you see other people scattered about stop and kind of wait to see what's about to happen. And then you see, in the shadows, things start to stand up. Humanoid-shaped shadows. And then you notice that your own shadow, all of your shadows, break away from your bodies, step into the physical realm, and wander off into the marketplace.
Have I seen anything like this before?
You have not.
Holy shit.
Is that a thing that happens here too?
I don't trust like that. I think we need to go find them.
And each of you feel as though something has been removed from you. There's just a little part of you that's missing, but you can't quite place it. But you did just watch your shadow leave you.
Can we go run them down?
Gobs, we'll be back.
Gobs is like, yeah, of course. Just looking around. I'll be here?
Did everybody's shadows split off?
Everybody.
Or just ours?
Everybody's shadow that you can see so far.
Huh.
Oh my god. Is Yvonne
I try to
going
run
get
after
his?
mine.
Yeah, can we all run after ours?
Let's do it. Everybody roll me initiative.
Okay, so we've got 2 rolls.
Natural 20.
I'll let Beeps keep
Don't
his
you
and
make
I'll
me
re-roll.
re-roll it.
I'll re-roll mine. So Witty and I, we have to re-roll our initiatives.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So I got 11. I'll roll again. Now I have 9.
Nice.
Okay, I had a 12 the first time. What is 7? Wait, doesn't Gobs need to go get her shadow?
Gobs doesn't know what to do. Y'all have made a decision. Now, if you want to try to tell Gobs what you're doing and why, Gobs may join you. But currently, Gobs is just like, yep, this is some weird face shit.
Yeah.
Do you need to go get her?
Do you think I need to? I've never seen this before.
I think it'd be better to be safe than sorry, don't you?
Okay, and she just like starts hauling after her shadow. Some of the flyers go rushing out behind her with a 17.
Oh man, she's
Fuck
on
yeah.
this shit.
The shadows got an 18.
Oh no.
Dang.
But they're
Alright.
just strolling, right? They're not booking it.
Yeah, no, they're just strolling. They're just,
Okay.
it looks like they're going about their day at the market. All right.
Alternate reality, what is it called? Clone jutsu? Shadow clone jutsu? Thank you.
Beeps, you get to go first.
I'm booking it. I'm running towards my shadow.
All right, give me an athletics check to try to catch up to the shadow.
Poor Beepa.
Yep.
Roll it twice. Hopefully it's advantage.
Shouldn't.
See, but you gotta roll it
shouldn't have
twice.
done-
See, you're good. You're good.
Yep.
Roll it again.
No, that was a 19.
Oh.
Shouldn't have
Yeah.
done. What was the drug name I gave y'all?
The Fey Dust.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done so much Fey Dust.
Oh no, friend.
That's an 8.
You start to chase after your shadow. And as you pick up speed and start running after it, you see it look back over its shadowed shoulder, back at you. You see a face that looks vaguely familiar. And it takes off.
Ah!
Oh. Oh, okay.
It's a face that you know, that you remember.
Do I remember it extremely intimately?
Extremely intimately. In your dreams. It is... it
The
beat
gourmand
your...
makes that noise and tries to run faster.
Oh my
All right, I will
God.
let you have... So actually, that was your athletics roll.
Yeah.
So that is going to be your roll for the round. That is then going to make it the Shadow's turns. The only Shadow that is attempting to run away currently is Gourmand's. For some reason, you get this sense, like you're still connected to it. It's still your Shadow. And there's a sense of it determining whether or not running towards your friends might be more entertaining. That is the only Shadow that is currently... Gob's Shadow is also running.
Why?
But not very fast with a 4. Which then makes it Gobs' turn. So Gobs had launched forward 19 with a +4 dex modifier. +3 dex modifier, I apologize.
She's booking.
And so Gobs hurls herself onto this Shadow and is just gripped onto it. You see, it's got a physical form as you kind of look over at Gobs. It seems as though there is physical contact that has been made, and there's now a struggle ensuing.
Oh.
You're not sure exactly what's happening because it's a little too far away. It's a little too dark. It is just a shadow. But it looks as though Gobs is almost trying to shove the shadow back into the shadow's spot.
Get him, get him.
That'll make it 𝒑𝒾𝒶𝓁's turn.
How far is my shadow from me? Because it
Not
didn't
far,
run, right?
a casual walk.
Okay. I think I would just, seeing everyone run around, I think I would just walk up to it and try to tap it and be like, excuse me? Excuse me? Does it do anything?
Yes. So, your shadow, the form of a gnoll, turns around, and it's weird looking at this now that you're in person. Like, it looks as though it is a 3-dimensional shadow. It's not skin or scales or fur or cloth. This is wisps of shadow, almost smoke, making up all of the details of your person in that monochromatic way. But what you see as you look into this one, as Shadow 𝒑𝒾𝒶 looks at you, is there's a rage in those eyes. There is anger, hate, and it just kind of smiles with this deadly look in its eyes. Teeth sharp. And you hear it say, "You locked me away for too long."
Locked you away? I mean, I wouldn't lock anyone away, especially, I mean, you're part of me. I think we just got separated. I don't think we're supposed to be.
You never let me play.
But we
You're
do
always
everything
nice.
together.
You don't let me fight, kill, hurt.
No, 'cause, I mean, we feel those things, but we don't. No, that's not who we are. No, we don't want to.
That is who we, and it holds its hand up to itself, are. What would you like to do?
Gosh, I don't know how persuasive I can be to a shadow.
You can always try a persuasion roll if you'd like to. There's another type of persuasion roll, which is just a right hook. It's really up to you and what you're feeling 𝒑𝒾𝒶𝓁 would do, being confronted with the side of her that she never wants to let out.
𝒑𝒾𝒶𝓁 is very uncomfortable by this because she does feel anger. She does feel she's a gnoll. It's inside, but she's done so many things to not be like this. So I think that she would feel Vikita feels a little bubbling of like indignant and like, okay, like, do you want to go? And then just like, no, not like that. And she goes, no, and almost like she like kind of like postures up like intimidating and is like, you're gonna get back to where you're supposed to be, and like points at the ground. There.
Give me an intimidation roll.
God. Oh no, that's a 5.
Crime puppy.
Cry puppy.
The shadow looks at you.
You have muzzled us for too long. You do not scare me.
And with that, it will become Aloranel's turn.
This is some fucking Kingdom Hearts shit.
Holy shit. So Aloranel is gonna leave Javon's side to jog after her shadow. And because all of this is happening simultaneously, she's not getting to really kind of learn from the experiences of her friends. And so she's just going to jog up like this was a friend she's trying to catch up with who was like leaving her behind. And so she jogs up to this corporeal shadow. Look, I don't know what the fuck's going on at all, but I know this isn't supposed to be happening. She like tries to like put a hand on its shoulder tentatively.
As you approach and say these things to your shadow, it looks back and you see tears, shadowy tears streaming down this face. And she's just crying. And she says, "Why does everyone always leave us?
Oh no.
Why are we not worth loving too?"
Oh, Aloranel looks like somebody slapped her across the face. Her eyes are wide. She is incredibly taken aback. She does kind of like do a quick scan of people in the vicinity to see who even might have heard that.
Nobody.
And so she kind of like takes the shadow by both shoulders. Like not in a mean way, but in like a way that would focus the entity's attention. Look, I don't know where we are. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this isn't helping. This isn't going to make anything better. If we can get whatever this is working again, we'll talk about it another time, alright? Do you need persuasion?
Give me a persuasion roll.
Let me check her sheet. Okay, persuasion. She's got a +2. I love that for her. First one was 11.
Okay. Average.
Oh, son of a fuck. Oh,
7.
that's a
well,
9 plus her 2 persuasion.
With your persuasion roll, she looks back at you and she says, "Why do you keep pushing everyone away? Because you're afraid to get hurt? We need them. We need them. Just let them in."
Alornal?
And with that,
Oh, okay.
no, go ahead.
Alornal
You
looks
can get
deeply uncomfortable. She is like quickly like checking to see everyone's engaged with their other people. Nobody is listening to this. Nobody hears this. And she is like, you need to stop. We'll talk about this later. We can't fucking have this out right now. All right? And she does like spike a little bit because she's clearly like the anxiety is building.
And with that, we go back to the gourmand. You are currently chasing your shadow, who looked back at you with this look of mischief, of the desire to cause chaos to you. and knowing exactly how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to, like, in middle of running and in the panic, Gormon's going to be like, wait, God, oh, dang it. And then he just stops running and goes, okay, and then turns around.
Oh!
And goes and to check on everybody else.
You do that, and you feel a slight tug as your shadow's kind of looking back at you like, the fuck? That's not how we're playing this game.
Mm-hmm. It is now.
And the shadow starts walking to you,
Yes.
and you hear a voice calling out, don't you ignore me. Hey,
Oh.
don't you ignore me.
The Gourmand laughs every time that happens. Then come dance with me, Shadow Boy!
Fine. And he's walking up to you. Do you stop and turn around, or are you going to keep walking away?
Can I feel, if I focus on it, can I feel how far away they are?
The shadow?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't fucking know. Let's give that
Ooh.
Arcana roll.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Do I have to roll twice?
I don't know. I'm not
Poor
keeping track
Beepus
of
has
that.
the most rolls, so you're having to re-roll the time. Yeah, there's another one.
Chat room?
Thank you, Necro.
I'm coming for you.
It's Necro.
Fuck you, Necro. The
Station
first one's
VR.
11.
Okay.
Second one is 13 for a 14. Never mind, Necro, you're great. Thank you so much.
I take it back.
All right. So, with that, yeah, you kind of get a sense for how far away. You definitely can tell that there is a connection still to this shadow, whatever that is in the metaphysical sense. And so kind of focusing on that, knowing that it's approaching, you start to gauge the sensation. And it's kind of like if someone were to take a feather up your back,
Mm-hmm.
and the closer it gets, the further up it goes.
So I'm going to continue walking towards the others to go to check on them until I feel that the shadow is closer behind me, and then I will just dig my heel into the dirt and spin around, and as I'm spinning, I press to digitate a rose in my mouth, and then I outstretch my hand towards my shadow and say, "You want to dance? Let's dance."
All right, give me a performance check.
I thought you would never ask, baby.
Yeah.
Hmm. I think I have a thing for performance.
I bet you do.
No. Okay.
No.
I thought I did. So it's just expertise. I thought it was advantage too. Okay. Natural 1.
Oh,
Fuck
no.
yeah.
Hey,
For
I
an
think
8.
Necro, that other reroll is applicable too. Yeah. I think we had 2 stored up, so roll again. I was gonna save it for me.
Did we?
Because I hate that you have to keep doing that.
Hey,
I feel bad.
fucking
No,
dish
no,
him
no, roll
out.
it again. There you go.
Let's go.
Free advantage.
That's a 9 for a 15.
For a
Better than a
15.
Mm-hmm. I have a +7 to performance, baby.
Damn.
Let's, you know what? Roll me again
Okay.
for your shadow. Add your same skill.
Okay. $24.
Oh. He's out dancing you.
Bum.
You
Brum, ba, ba,
hit a stride.
ba, ba, ba.
There's music.
Gourmand's making all his own music as this is happening.
The shadow is joining you with the music as the two of you pull off a beautiful ballet in this
small forested area under the moonlight with the sparkle of fireflies, and the shadow has taken your pose, is dancing alongside you, and looks you in the eyes and says, God, I missed this.
Oh.
And as you're dancing, slides back in to become your shadow.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll spin around, still dancing, just with myself. Remember,
Aw.
this place makes no sense.
As you do that, you see another one of your companions, Javon, off on the side, who looks to just be like high-fiving his shadow.
I love this boy.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I just saw it, dude. And
Whoa,
like they
this
just
is cool, man.
they're just having a chat.
Oh no. We haven't dealt with our traumas and everyone else has. God damn it.
No.
Which will then make it the shadow's turn. So we're gonna say Witty. It is your go.
It's me or my shadow.
That's you or your shadow. The shadow was not intimidated. You can try again. It's not taking any action against you.
Okay. I think I can see everyone else interacting with their shadows right now.
Mhm.
I would have seen Gourmand dancing with his, and
Mhm.
I'd see Javon high-fiving his, and I'd look at my shadow and see, like, it could be like that. What do you need?
This could
What do
be
you
us.
need? We're part of each other. What do you need? Do you need to hit something? Do you need to just give me one free shot? Just one real good.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Oh god.
You have hopefully advantage?
That's a 15.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll
Alright.
take it.
So with a 15, trying to get the shadow you to open up and tell you what it needs. It just kind of looks at you, and when you offer to hit it, it says,
I don't want to hit you. It's not just maybe sometimes don't stomp me out so hard. We can be a healthy balance. Use me to save people.
That's fair. I think I just was afraid if we did that, I don't know, we got away from that, and now we have so many things. I was just afraid. I thought that we might lose it if we did that.
Not if we work together.
I can do that.
and with that, your shadow moves forward to give you a hug.
Aw, I mean my shadow.
And as you hug your shadow, you feel the pressure dissipate as it shifts back down into the ground, joining you again.
Birthday therapy. Let's
It is
go!
birthday.
And then
Oh.
Aloranel.
The shadow is not having any of this. We'll talk later.
No, it's not. It needs something to come back.
She's still a gentle hold at the shoulders. She's looking at everyone, like, connecting with their shadows, and she's panicking a little. Because that means when they're done, they're going to be paying attention to her. And nobody needs or gets to see this. And so she's like, all right, do you want to dance? Do you want to hug? What? I don't know what you want.
Your shadow looks up at you and looks over at Javon for a moment and then looks back. Do you care about him?
Yeah, Jean's nice. That's great. Now, can we get back to this whole being together again? stuff.
You need to tell him how you feel, or you're gonna push him away. And we can't be lost again.
Look, we've never been lost. Everything's fine. Everything's perfectly fine. I'll tell him that he's a nice boy. Are you happy?
She starts crying.
Alorna goes, fuck. What else do you want me to tell him? Other than that he's nice. Isn't that what you wanted?
Have I seen everyone kind of resolve their shadow encounters? And do I see Aloranel like hushed whispered?
Yeah.
At the top
it's
of the
like
round.
Furtive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so after this round, you'll be able to go and interact with her.
I was gonna see if I could use a reaction to give Aloranel my first ever for our entire campaign bardic inspiration.
You know what? I'll allow it. How does that manifest?
I'm going to I'm still dancing, and then I'm gonna do a little twirl and then stop in a big like wide stanced pose and kind of like deep like JoJo pose style
Oh my god.
bend and reach towards Aloranel and go, "Don't fight it. Don't be defensive. Embrace!" And then I go back up and I continue dancing. You have 1d6 of bardic inspiration.
Thank you. Oh man.
So, you have a bardic inspiration to spend to deal with your shadow, however you think is necessary. What would you like to do?
If I can use another persuasion roll, because I think that's what's most applicable here, and I'll add that, and it can either be attached to I'll tell Javon that he's a nice boy, or it can be in convincing after Shadow responds to that.
Okay. What would your preference be?
It's less work for you if I just roll now, and it'd be attached to telling Javon he's a good boy.
Go for it.
Oh, Aloranel's like me. She doesn't know that has additional meaning attached.
Fine, I'll just tell him he's a good boy.
Yeah.
You're such a good boy.
Javon's just like turning to his shadow.
Okay.
Ooh. Well, your shadow looks up at you and says,
no.
"You need to tell him now."
Why does it matter when I tell him that he's nice? But I'm going to use the bardic inspiration for Aloranel to listen instead of being stubborn as she's inclined. Come on, you're coming with me. If I have to do this, we have to do this together. And she she's like marching a disobedient child over to Javon. She's got a hand on the shoulder and she's walking slightly abreast but a little behind, so there's still like forward movement. She walks over to Javon. Has he joined with his shadow already?
No, not yet.
They're just vibing.
They're just chatting.
Okay.
I love the idea that this is all like super tense and emotional and deep. And in the background, Gourmand's like, "They call me Cuban Pete. I'm the king of the rum beat. And you know the maracas that go shake, shaky, boom, shake, shaky, boom."
Oh my gosh. She walks over
Feywild!
to Javon with her shadow, the hand on the shoulder. Hi. All right. She's in Elvish, so blessedly. Hold on. I have to roll for a decision.
Oh.
She slips into broken spoken drow, which is the first time that the 𝒸𝒹𝒾𝒶 or Gourmand has heard her use that. Look, my shadow says that I need to tell you that you're nice. So, thank you for being nice to me.
Siobhan looks over, a little confused. And then his shadow kind of like leans in, whispers something in his ear.
No. This is like going and
And he
telling
goes,
a boy you like them in like middle school. Oh no!
And he just has this recognition on his face. And he goes, "Oh, you are very nice too."
Aloranil doesn't understand,
I
but
also think you're
understands
nice.
all at the same time. And even though she's this like beautiful dark orchid gray color, you still see the cascade of red bloom across her cheeks, and it darkens the spattering of freckles. Good. I'm glad we got that out of the way. And she kind of like rattles her shadow a little bit. All right, is that good? Are we done?
As you rattle the shadow, you just feel this relief wash over you as it disappears back into being your shadow. And so then there's just Siobhan and his shadow.
Right.
And Siobhan looks at his shadow. His shadow looks at him. They kind of head nod, high five one more time, and then the shadow drops back into being a shadow. And Siobhan looks over and is just got the biggest grin on his face as he
Alright.
looks at Aloranel.
We should probably rejoin the others. She does not wait. She turns. She's walking back.
Merlon set us down and was like, "You excited to do a one-shot?" And we were like, "Yeah!" "You excited to go to the Feywilds?" And we were like, "Yeah!" "You excited to confront deep-rooted personal trauma?" "Yeah!" No. Banana, cucumber, eggplant. What's the safe word? Get me out of here!
Ain't no safe word in this therapy.
Yup.
So, as we zone back into the post-trauma bonding of the shadow wild magic that spawned randomly within our scene, the group is returned to the spot that they were in previously, with Gobs joining back as well, her shadow reattached. And you see that others throughout the market have realized the need to do this, and some clearly haven't. But Gobs pops back over and says, so y'all are new?
What did you say about the games having something to do with how we got here? Because we were just trying to buy flour, and we were buying it very normally, and then all of a sudden, we were just here.
The question was, what do you have to do with coming back for the games? Gobs looks at you, and there's just kind of this sad look, and she says, Lord Callum is a little obsessed with the material realm.
Oh.
And has people that are set out to bring in others to this realm to amuse him. And so, likely whatever you did, or perhaps you upset somebody, or were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now you're here.
Well, I don't think I want to play his games. I just remembered you were saying that you didn't want to be here either, and I don't like that.
Well, there's not really another option, is there?
There's
Yeah,
always an option, right?
If this is how we were brought here, then we're looking for a way out. This is it.
New friend.
Well, look, y'all are new here. Why don't I be your guide? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I would like.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I think y'all might need some help here and maybe y'all can help me too?
Of course.
Hmm.
Lorna's kind of like catching back up with the conversation, is like looking between Gourmand and 𝒂𝒶𝓁, not looking at Siobhan. What do you mean she doesn't want to be here? Did I miss something?
She doesn't want this job.
Well then, don't do it.
I can't.
She
Stop.
doesn't have a choice.
I made a deal, and that put me into a contract that I can't break easily.
Are you comfortable telling us who you made a deal with?
Lord Callum,
Oh, is he the king or whatever
Grand
of this area?
Maestro of Fun is his current title he's chosen.
Sure,
He does
that
not
sounds
sound fun.
delightful. But
He's just kind of in charge here.
so what happens if you leave?
Can't.
You
There's no way out.
Y-
It's a forest.
no one's allowed to leave the forest.
I mean,
I
we
mean,
got
we-
here, right?
You could go through the forest, but the things that are in the forest are really scary.
Couldn't we go back the way we came?
Where'd you come from?
Yeah,
Waterdeep.
𝒂𝒶𝓁, where did we come from?
Where did you go?
Don't
The
do this.
flower shop?
Where did he come from?
Don't.
Have you
do
met
Ooh.
Cotton-Eyed Joe?
Shut the
Of
fuck
course
up.
I know him. He's me!
She says, "You're not physically stuck here, but there's no real place to go. But the good news, and this is..." She kind of looks back down at her papers. The thing about Fae is rules and promises are very powerful. And Lord Callum has promised that the winners of the challenges, if you win all 3 challenges, you'll get to ask a favor of him. And he can't get out of that. So that might be your only way to get home easily.
We could bring you with us if we wanted, or at least ask that you don't have to do this job anymore.
She says, you don't need to
Didn't
to
you
do
say
that.
something about
You don't know
teams
me.
earlier? That you
Yeah,
needed a team?
well, she just kind of looks around. The sports are all, or the games are all team-based,
Right.
except for one.
Well, then, perhaps if you need a team, and she gestures a hand in a sweeping motion towards the remainder of the group. If there's us, that seems to satisfy that requirement. Yeah?
She nods. I mean, if you're willing to take me on, that'd be really great.
All right, then.
The gourmand has kind of stopped for a second and is now like eyeing very uncomfortably and sort of peering and like studying Gobs extremely intently.
Okay. What do you want to get out of that? Roll me an insight.
Need to roll perception to see if we notice that hard stare.
15.
Okay, what are you hoping to get?
Gourmand has been to the Fae before.
Mhm.
People don't help people here for free.
Correct.
And Gobs has been giving us a lot of information, has offered to be our guide with nothing in return, is being very forthright with all of our information. Even so, being an indentured servant and being under this contract, this is weird for the Feywild. And if it's weird for the Feywild, Gourmand's like, Wait a minute. He's kind of like he's reaching for his chef's knife.
Okay. So with a 15 insight, what you get is this is definitely all odd behavior for a Fae.
Mm-hmm.
But Gobbs is very clearly not from here
Mm-hmm.
and likely desperate to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And you would know that likely the people that have come here aren't willing to help a goblin.
Mm.
And so it's that recognition of Gobbs sees that there's a group of people that are willing to talk to her and then help. And so she's obviously not Fae. She's not entirely goblin, but you're not entirely sure what else she is. But it's very clear that she's not from here and is not attached to this place in the way that Fae are yet. Obviously, the longer one stays here, the more it kind of takes over, but it seems that is what you're getting here, is that she is hoping that the thing that you will be giving to her is assistance.
Yeah.
It is if I'm helpful, they'll be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And she's hoping on that.
Okay. Gourmand is still like, Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right then. Now that we've formed a team, do we need to register somewhere or something of the sort?
She says, yeah, once the event starts in a few hours, we can go to each of the tents and we can participate. But we've still got a little bit of time before then. As your guide, would you like a tour of the market?
I think that would be lovely.
A market, sure.
So tell me about this Callum. What is he like? What is he like? What does he like in his games, in his people, in his pawns?
Lord
and
Callum...
I'm so sorry. Can I have your name again?
Oh, everybody just calls me Gobbs.
Gourmand goes,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Out of character. I picked up on it. In character, poor Lornell has no idea. She's like, cool.
I just want to know how to introduce us in case. Sounds like this Callum is a fan of the dramatic.
Yeah, Lord Callum is... He likes being entertained. That's kind of his whole thing. He loves things that are cute and fluffy and soft. Currently, I think he's taken the form of an otter, if I remember.
Ooh.
But he just kind of does what he pleases. But it doesn't usually hurt people often. Some of the games are a little rough.
Lornell turns to Siobhan. She's in Elvish again. Is there anything else that we need to know? Perhaps about, being in the Feywilds? I don't know. Pointers. Things to avoid. Being rude to people unintentionally. She's, like, making glancing eye contact, and then she'll, like, look away again, and she's not quite shifting weight from the balls of her feet back to her heel, but it's almost there. Almost a nervous little movement.
Siobhan rolled a 1.
Huh? Good for him.
Um,
Wait!
and
No, that
so-
boy gets a roll.
Oh?
Thank you, Necro.
Siobhan gets an 18.
Oh, bless.
He kind of squints a little bit and is trying to recall something. And he
Do's,
says,
don'ts, anything, honestly, would be helpful.
I remember there are 3 core rules that they follow.
Alright.
There is the rule of hospitality, of ownership,
and reciprocity.
What does any of that mean?
And he's like trying to remember, and he's just kind of walking like like shifting in his little booties a little bit as he's thinking. There's something about they are required to be welcoming to anybody that has entered their domain, unless you are rude. And then they forbid thievery or burglary. And if you give a gift, there's always a gift to be expected in kind.
Oh.
And sometimes the value of the gift it's supposed to be equal, but how a Fae views value is different.
She nods like that makes perfect sense, but it's clear from the expression on her face that she did not understand most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely. That's all very good to know. Yeah, thanks. And she like turns back to the group. Let's go to that. You said market. Let's go look at that market. She like sidles up to you, 𝒂𝒶𝒁.
All right.
𝒂𝒂𝒁, as we're walking, will just once in a while like glance back at her shadow and just make sure that it's not moving in any sort of weird way. Once in a while, we'll just like when illuminated by light, we'll put her hand up and be like, "Okay."
All right. So, Gobs leads the way. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Frindell night market twinkles to life, gradually igniting in a dazzling display. The smells of food carts filled with pot stickers, coconut desserts, spiced meats, sticky buns, and more drift amid a bright bouquet of glowing flowers and magical lights in the shapes of vendors' ware and whimsical mascots. Crowds of shoppers are now wandering the stalls, drawn by the colors, smells, and music. And so, Gobs leads you down one of you can tell that each of the rows kind of creates a circle. And the further you go, the more you realize that there's rings around a large central area. But you haven't been to the central area yet to know what that holds, but Gobs is just kind of giving you a tour of all of the different places. And she says, so first we're going to start off over here at the Zungun family seafood stall. And she pauses and looks over, but something catches all of your ears as you're looking at this seafood stall where there's a kobold
Ooh.
standing behind it, serving out different seafood. Shouting rises over the sounds of haggling shoppers and the sizzle of cooking street food. A shrill voice cries out, "Give it back, you little thief!"
Uh-oh.
"No, you're the thief!" replies a youngster with a panicked squeak. An instant later, a frantic kobold bursts from the crowd, clutching a sizable bunch of green onions. Following, a flustered mousekin woman chases after him.
As someone who
Oh,
steals
no!
often, I'd be like,
I don't see nothing. I see nothing.
All right,
You can't prove it.
all three of you roll me a d20. Don't add anything to it.
Okay.
Ooh.
14.
10.
4.
4. View 𝒂𝒶𝒁. As you are over there like, I steal shit too, don't look. This kobold child holding these green onions is looking back after this maybe foot and a half tall mousekin woman who's wearing an apron and is chasing after him. Slams right into your leg
Oh no.
and bounces off of you. And he's just blinking.
back against the ground.
Oh, little
The
buddy.
green onions have tumbled out of his
Oh
arms.
no.
I would just reflexively, Vikita would reach out a paw and kind of hoist him up to his feet.
All right. As you do that, the mousekin catches up. You little thief! Give those back! He stole all of those from me! And go ahead.
Orloranel kind of interposes a little bit because this is a lot of attention that none of us really want. Right. Here, she bends down and she gives the onions back to the mousekin, kind of hesitantly. All's well?
She takes those. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you do that, Gobs kind of bounces around the side and runs up to the little mousekin. Are you okay? Is everything okay? And the mousekin woman looks up. Yes, everything's fine now that we have these, but they, and she points off towards the seafood stand, need to start behaving.
Orloranel crosses her arms over her chest. I'm sorry. We're new here. Do you mind explaining what you mean by that?
Yes. She points off and says, those kobolds have been stealing from us for weeks. And I just caught this one. And I am done with it. I will be taking this before the authorities.
I think you have your onions back. Everything's fine. You should just go
roll
back
me-
to what you're doing. It's just a kid.
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right. Okay, first one. 4. Okay, that's good. The reroll has got to be an 8. Better than 4. So that's a 10 with her plus 2.
All right. With that, the mousekin calms down just a little bit off of the simmer. However, it doesn't last long. As you see from the stand that she was pointing at, this rather large kobold starts trotting over, red scales, wearing an apron with like belted around with a little chef's hat, and is coming over here and walks over and says, What is going on here? Basil, and she points towards the mousekin, that's enough. You're behaving no better than our parents did. Stealing from me and attacking my son? And the mousekin pivots, points a finger up at the taller kobold, and was like, me? Steal from you? Your son stole from me! And they begin to fight back and forth and arguing about all of this right in front of you.
Right. Orloranel is exchanging glances with Gourmand and Yukitsa like, oh my god, this is a Thanksgiving dinner I never wanted to ever go to. She tries to like hold up her hands. I'm sure we can work something out.
The kobold lady looks over at you as you start to talk, and she says, thank you. You look like capable strangers. And she just kind of nods. I'm Kusa Zungun, proprietor of the market-famous Zungun family seafood. She stops for a second. For a fish typhoon, you'll wish Zangoon. Can you help us deal with these scoundrels? And I'll make it worth your while.
Oh, we don't. All right. She's like looking at Gourmand and Yukitsa. We'll do our best.
The mousekin woman spins on her heels and points at all of you and goes, she's calling me a scoundrel? No! You don't look like you're wrapped up in these politics. I'm Basil Einkorn. I own the Einkorn Bakery, and if you help me deal with them, I'll give you a lifetime of delicious pastries from my bakery.
Look,
I don't think.
Yeah, go.
Sorry, go ahead. I was...
Gourmand is gonna stand silently behind you guys while you're talking, but he's just gonna hold up a hand, and wait for you all to be finished.
I would just... Vikitsa would turn and be like, if both of you are calling each other scoundrels and saying you're stealing, does that sort of just... I don't do math. Does that just sort of cancel out? Like, everybody could just not steal from each other? Maybe you guys just don't talk to each other. How about that?
The kobold looks at you. We didn't steal anything.
I believe you,
They-
and I believe you that you didn't steal either.
Then who's stealing things? Has to be somebody. I'll give you 50 gold pieces to help figure this out. Okay, so,
While we're in the middle of this fight, and poor Vikitsa is trying to talk everyone down.
a wild magic event happens just as the sun is setting. But the darkness is different. Instead of what you would expect, a starry sky, small moon in the distance, you're staring up at what is like a zoomed in full moon looming above you.
This is
Ominously.
Majora's
I'm gonna
And-
change your tides, motherfucker!
And that's when you hear the howling of wolves and the distant woods. Each of you roll me a will save.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
that's a solid +1. Let's go, baby.
Hey.
That.
Ah,
Ooh. I don't think you're ready for this one. That is a solid 4.
I love that so much.
Sorry, willpower
I
is
think it
for
was
the
Will.
DM.
Yeah, that's
I knew
that's
what you
because
meant.
I don't play this game.
We're vampire babies.
That was a 9.
Yeah, I have a
Did
9 too.
anybody get above a 15?
Roll for Siobhan.
I did. He got a 4.
Oh, baby, no.
Twinsies, oh my
Gobs.
god.
Gob's got a 5. Okay. So,
Oh, we're
And everyone dies. GG, everybody.
I want the 3 of y'all to roll me a d6. Wait, let me do math. Yeah, d6.
Oh god,
Also-
little tiny baby ones.
2.
5.
Okay.
Eh.
Okay.
3.
3. Okay. Alorinel.
Huh.
Suddenly, the air around you doesn't feel quite as cold.
That's good, yeah?
It's your face is nice and warm.
Okay.
Anybody looking at Alorinel realizes that she now has fox ears.
No! No!
Furries!
You were right. You were right, peeps.
Witty. Yukitsu, you rolled a 5,
Mm-hmm.
but you're already.
I got ears.
Yeah, you already got.
When he turns into a person.
Witty, I'm gonna come back to you in just a second. Gourmand, Beeps, you rolled a
4.
4.
Solid 4.
So
Strong 4.
that strong
Very
4.
dominating 4.
So
Yeah.
that very dominant 4,
Yeah.
strong 4, you realize that you know what? You are an alpha.
Oh,
As you grow a wolf tail out the back of your pants as it just erupts from you. And your balance is better. You get advantage on all acrobatics and athletics rolls.
Esports.
Aloranel will get advantage on all perception and investigation skills and sneak skills.
ooh.
𝒂𝒶𝒁,
How
this
do you
gets a little bit-
puppy what is already puppy?
yeah, exactly. How do you puppy what's already puppy?
Easy.
um,
You make it more puppy.
More puppy?
Super.
Roll me a d20 real quick, Witty. This is just for my own.
Witty's not a
Personal
knoll anymore.
satisfaction.
Witty is an entire fox.
8.
Okay. Your features have shifted to be much softer and fox-like.
You're a fox now.
It's still clear that you are 𝒂𝒶𝒁, but everything's just a little bit more fox.
And Aloranel just has fucking ears.
Ooh.
That you can
Foxy
see.
lady.
Okay, she's not covered in fur though, right? It's just the ears.
You do notice that there is fur covering your neck and shoulders.
Wait, what about her face?
Face seems to be fine for now. But 𝒂𝒶𝒁, you also gain a benefit. You're going to gain advantage on perception, insight, and
Sleight of hand.
sleight of hand. Let's go with that. You know what? I like it. As you all slowly turn lycanthropish.
Y'all, I think there was something in those mushrooms that I ate.
What happened to Javon?
You ate mushrooms.
Oh, yeah,
Siobhan,
Javon.
Sorry to make you do more work, but
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is what I'm here for.
I need to know.
So Javon failed and rolled a 1.
Javon is a whole
so-
puppy now.
Javon has shed his pants and boots and is walking around on fox human legs. So they're not like it's like the 3 stages of lycanthrope, or I think is what it is, where you've got like the human hybrid version of it.
So he's a furry.
I mean, you all are now.
Y'all are.
We're all furries now.
But he's like the one that when people think of furry, they think of.
I mean, I think it's between 𝒂𝒶𝒁 and Javon.
Well, he's
I do
just,
tech- I
just
do
the
have
legs,
the most
right?
fur.
Legs and feet
That's
for Javon?
Yeah, just legs and
so
feet.
he's like a satyr.
Yeah, kind of like a satyr fox.
So he's got a tail.
A fader.
Does not have a tail.
No tail. But he's got the like hind legs with a curve to
Mhm.
them and the padded feet.
But you also don't know what's going to happen as we move forward with this,
Yeah, I'm a
because
little
the moon's
worried.
not going away.
I look at you guys and see. Basically, to me, I just see you guys looking more like me. I just like wag my tail. I'm like, you guys look cool. This is neat. What's this?
Oh, Lorna is like looking. She doesn't. Wait, are her hands fluffy?
Not yet.
So she's just kind of like. She like touches it. What's happening?
Gobbs kind of looks over and has like full like fur, and just kind of looks over. Oh, it'll probably pass.
Are you sure?
I think we all just enrolled in the STEM program.
I don't know what that means.
We're a little furrier. Either that or I left my plug in last night. Hang on. I tug on my tail a little bit.
What?
I'll tell you when you're older, and I tug on my tail.
I'm older than you
It's-
are.
It's attached in a physical way that is not like that.
Oh,
Poor Lorinel.
yeah, we were changed just a little bit.
Wait, just you guys were. I feel, and I just ears fur. I'm like, just you guys, I guess.
Your
That's cool.
features have elongated a little. You still look like yourself. It's just.
I'm gonna prestidigitate a mirror. Are you sure about that?
Oh no.
You're just a little slicker.
Huh.
It's just a little different. Wouldn't it be
Yeah, a little.
strange if instead of becoming, well, I don't know, a different sort of whatever this is, if you'd become more, I don't know, human? Elven? Whatever.
Ooh.
whatever
No
the
offense,
opposite
but-
of this is. No, none taken. It would just
Yukita
be-
throws up a little bit.
She's like,
As y'all are standing there talking about
Oh,
this,
that's right.
the two people that are still arguing have both turned, and the little mousekin is like, "I'll give you 60 gold pieces, and I will teach you how to make my Mobius croissant."
croissant. Do they look puppyish?
you say?
Are they puppified?
Oh yeah, all of them,
Everyone is puppified?
everyone in the area.
Even the mouse people.
Yeah, even the mouse people,
What's
and they seem completely unfazed by this.
you? Why do you look like not a mouse? And she looks at the kobold. Why is everyone turning into animals? Dogs? I'm not sure.
The kobold lady shakes her head. I'm guessing Lord Callum got bored.
What?
It'll pass.
He can do that?
What can't he do?
I'm not...
He's an archfey.
Oh, wait. Does she know what that means? Do you want me to do
Give me an
intelligence
Arcana roll. Or an intel. Yeah, whatever you think's gonna be best for that. Nature, Arcana, Intelligence.
Oh, I got a 15 for Arcana.
Okay. So with the 15, that's enough for you to have an idea that there are tiers of Fey power.
Mm-hmm.
The number one Fey power is Archfey. So this is you would know of other Archfey creatures. The queens of the different courts are Archfey.
Yeah.
So that is the power level that Archfey can get to. Is godhood. That does not mean they all are, but it means that even the weakest of the Archfey is still likely demigod in capabilities.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What is
Which TLDR is just not good.
an archfey?
Eh.
Is that good?
That's I mean whatever she's gonna say, that's kind of what we didn't want to hear. So
Oh,
no.
fuck. All right.
Someone who is very, very fun.
It doesn't sound very fun. Turning
Very,
to things against
very
their
fun.
will. Right then.
Gourmand, gain an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
You feel as though something is pleased by you stating that.
Oh,
Oh my god, this motherfucker! This motherfucker. Well, right, if we're all going to be K9 for the foreseeable future, right, it looks like we're all dogs now. I don't see why you need to fight with one another. There's no poking fingers, we're all dogs. You can't single this one out for being not like you anymore, which is rubbish anyways. So how about you take your leeks, or fucking onions, whatever the fuck they are, go about your business, and leave this woman and her son to theirs.
Both of the parties look at each other. Fine. They both agree, and they both walk off. Gobbs trots off after the mousekin and they speak for a second before she comes back. It's not long. She says, sorry about that. There's been some vandalism lately, and it's been getting their tensions high.
What do you mean?
And she looks sorry. Oh, there's always been kind of a feud between those two families, but it had been fine for a long time now. And then just all of a sudden, a few weeks back, there was just, it picked back up with things being stolen or broken or moved and neither one of them will admit to anything. And poor Basil, she's just under so much stress, and she looks after the mousekin.
What about the others? She
Oh,
wasn't being very kind about their appearance.
They're fine. Basil and I are a little closer, so I guess I've got a little bit more
That's all well
care
and
there.
good, but
Javon steps up next to Aloranel and tries to stand close to her.
she's
With
just
his
kind of like,
furry legs.
oh no. No! Wait, what happened to his pants and his shoes? Are they donezo?
Yeah, they're gone.
Like, they
Like
just
they disappeared magically?
There's no trace of them.
Ah!
Maybe the fur grew over them. Everything's fine. All right. Y'all feel more than welcome to ask the kobolds if they're okay if you'd like to. Because I've been doing a lot of the talking.
I would like to go over to the kobolds
Mhm.
and just like lean up against the stall, be like, "Tell me what's going on."
The kobold lady is working on preparing a side of fish. Looks like prepping some sushi rice, and it has a wok going as well. Handling all three at the same time. And she looks over at you and she's like, well, they accused us of stealing. My son says that they actually stole it from us. Things have been destroyed lately. We had part of our stall broken and battered, and it's all because of those mousekin.
Did you see them do that?
Well, no, I didn't, but who else would it be? They've always disliked us.
You've got an archfey less than a mile away from you, causing chaos and surges of wild magic, causing everyone to transform and unexplainable things happening, like the moon getting bigger and shadows separating themselves from people. Is it within the realm of possibility that it could be ridiculous happenstance?
He stops for a second, and you can tell expert knife skills as she's been working. And she looks you up and down and says, look, how about this? You would be doing all of us a favor by solving this, and I'm willing to pay you 100 gold and give you a lifetime supply of food from our stall if you just deal with this so that it goes away.
Promise.
Yes. And she kind of like slicks off some fish guts off a hand and then puts it out to shake. Promise.
I will help you, but you have to agree to one thing for me. You join me in song.
She blinks a couple of times. Sure?
Capital! And then he extends a hand out to shake.
All right. Do you sing now? Do you sing later?
No, I sing later. And then I go, do you have catfish?
Right now, all we have is
𝒂𝒶𝓁.
His eyes go wide and he's like, I will take a flank.
Oh, she
Raw.
nods, grabs some brown butcher's paper, and wraps up the flank that she was working on right there.
Is it brined, seasoned, treated at all, or fresh out the water?
We fished this one up out of the river maybe 2 hours ago.
Gormon's gonna take it and press it up against his face, like the parchment,
Mhm.
and go, oh, great, I'll be right back. Then he goes over to the Mousekin's stall.
Okay. So theirs isn't a stall as much as it's an actual building.
Okay.
And so you can go in. What is everybody else doing? 𝒂𝒶𝒶, what are you doing alongside 𝒂𝒹𝒃 right now?
Right now I feel like 𝒂𝒶𝒶's caught up and everyone looking more like her. So she's just kind of just been like standing back, like kind of listening to what's going on, but looking around, looking at the moon, thinking like, she's thinking like, are they gonna turn into dogs like entirely? Like she's kind of like waiting and like watching everybody. Like, are we gonna be a little dog pack?
All right. As you're doing that, you hear a behind you, as though somebody's trying to get your attention.
Turn around.
And you look over, and there's a creature leaned up against a tree trunk, one foot up against it, the other strung out. Definitely satyr legs.
Oh my god.
And it goes up to a chiseled torso of a humanoid that leads into what is a mustached, like elf type face. Very beautiful man, satyr, leaning up against a tree. And he looks over at you. And he looks you up and down. And he says, "Come here often."
Oh my god.
𝒂𝒶𝒶 looks behind her.
I'm so
Want
glad I
to?
love that music.
And then he
This
pushes himself off the tree.
Oh my god.
Silarus, nice to meet you. And holds out a hand.
This is my first time here, actually. It just takes his hand.
And he kisses the top of 𝒂𝒶𝒶's hand and says, "It could be my first time with a knoll as well." And he looks up at you.
Wow.
𝒂𝒶𝒶 does not understand what he means by this, and is like, "Are you playing the games too? That's what we're gonna do, I guess. Did you want to play the games?"
Says, "And you are playing the games with my heart."
Oh.
And he pulls back dramatically, walks back up to the tree and puts a hand against the tree and looks down.
Oh my god.
You hear Javon behind you with 𝒂𝒹𝒃. Who is this guy?
No, Javon knows him.
Oh, this is correct.
Javon knows who he is.
Remind me again how Javon knows who he is. Through which
because
means?
I made a really wild ass roll on Neverland, and it's one of those rolls where it's so high it summons the attention of deities of that nature in the area.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
so
That's how
he-
this. So I take that back. I had to be reminded about this. So this is a callback character.
Wow.
Javon's just kind of staring in horror
Yep.
at this creature, and is just kind of frozen.
𝒂𝒶𝒶's like, did you
Freeze.
want to hang out? Did you want something?
He's at his pose against the tree, and he looks back. Are you offering to spend time with me?
Sure. I mean, I don't know how much time I have.
Before you had
Um.
finished the sentence, he's at your side.
Oh. Oh,
Glorious.
okay.
Well, what's your name?
Oh, I'm 𝒂𝒶𝒶.
Lovely. You smell like
And he takes a deep whiff of the air. The material plane.
That's the first thing, like him smelling her is the first like, oh, he's hitting on me because being a knoll. I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I suppose I probably do. You smell like, and I lead for, what does he smell like?
He smells like the inside of a brandy barrel.
Oh,
That like deep oak, like aged. Like you walked into a leather-bound study with books and a fire crackling and an expensive glass of whiskey poured.
So Vikita smells it back and is like, you actually smell pretty good.
He
Kind of
says,
fancy.
"Oh, I know. But thank you."
Oh, well, if you wanted to hang out, I mean, we're just walking around the markets right now.
How quaint. I could walk around the markets for a few. And he looks over at Aloranel and Javon and sees this drow young lad just kind of like bored stiff, staring at him
Yes.
wide-eyed. And then he looks at Aloranel and just gives her a wink.
She recoils. She immediately goes, and she kind of like hits Javon. What? Why are you staring at that man? He's winking.
I've seen him before.
What?
I
She's
feel like I just
elfish.
watched Javon go through every stage of grief across your face right there, Merlin.
What do you mean you've seen him before?
He was at the mansion at
Sam,
Imbros.
it doesn't seem like it's a good thing, judging by
It's not.
everything changes on Olorinel's countenance when she realizes that Javon doesn't like this dude. This dude winked at her and now has been confirmed as a bad dude and is glomping on Vikita. And so she's like, oh, come on, we're not gonna fucking let him. I don't know. Why is he bad? As they start moving over.
He leans in and describes quickly how he knows of this character
Oh, okay.
without
Sorry.
giving away the actions that had been taken against him.
Right. Okay, good. All right. Aloranel is the reddest anyone has ever seen her in her entire life. And she seems deeply uncomfortable. But Yukitsa is in potential danger. And so she's doing that little, like, quick walk that you do.
Seeing you guys come up, Vikita would turn to him and be like, oh, look, I'm going to introduce you to my friends. This is fun.
This is lovely. Your friends look so fun.
Oh, yeah, we have so much fun, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I love this character.
Right. Vikita, and she like leans in. Javon knows this guy, and he's not good. We should go. It's. She's still like deeply red. It's really bad.
Are you okay?
Um.
Were you running just now? You look
No.
kinda sweaty.
No, I wasn't
Okay.
running. It's. I'll let Javon tell you. And she like grabs Javon, replaces him with where she just was, and is like kind of like hissing over his shoulder, ignoring Silarus completely. Tell her why he's bad and why we need to leave.
Wait, we can't communicate, can we? Javon and I?
Oh fuck!
Do y'all both speak Elvish?
No.
Then no.
Mm-mm.
As they're discussing with this weird,
Mhm.
sexy, flirtatious satyr man, I'm on my way from the stall over to the mouse building, and I just am like armful of fish, and I go, "Don't worry, guys, I got it. I got some fish, and we're gonna sing in a little bit." And I just keep going.
And I'm like, I think that Gourmand would like this guy. He's kind of, he gave me a sniff. I think he's coming on a little strong, but but he seems nice. He seems nice. What happened?
We'll let Gourmand deal with it. Yeah, we'll let Gourmand deal with it. She like looks at Cyrus. We've got to go meet our friend. It was, yeah, and she just starts. She like hooks an arm in 𝒑𝒏𝒐's and starts like pulling them back towards, if that's okay with you, towards Gourmand.
As y'all start heading off that way, Sirens gives 𝒑𝒏𝒐's another up and down before saying, "A friend of 𝒑𝒏𝒐's is absolutely a friend of mine. Let's go." And he follows. He's sauntering behind, trying to draw the attention of everyone.
What is Siobhan? Siobhan's coming with us, right?
Yeah, Siobhan is following behind, but away from Sirens, who's just looks over at Siobhan and gives him a knowing wink as well.
No, no.
𝒑𝒏𝒐's, for context, never been flirted with besides like other gnolls, so she's just like, she's like confused. She's like, this is kind of fun, but also Lorna looks very uncomfortable. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she doesn't like feelings like this though. I'm thinking right now, like, I'm like, oh, Lorna doesn't like really feelings like this, so
Aloranel is trying, like, as they're like, because I don't know, how tall is 𝒑𝒏𝒐?
she's tall. She's I have it on my sheet. She's taller than you, that's for sure.
Yeah, Aloranel's little, so she's probably like.
Oh yeah, I'm almost
arm
7.
is like
I'm
this.
almost 7 feet tall.
Jesus.
Yeah, so she's, like,
Okay,
baby
so
moving.
Sirens was looking up the whole time because
Yeah.
Sirens is like 5'5".
Yeah.
Short
So yeah, Sirens is like ready to climb a mountain.
So she's like whispering things up, and it is. You're getting the impression that it was just like. It is sexual in a way that Aloranel cannot talk about. She cannot bring herself to make those words, but she's trying to impress upon you the, in her mind, inappropriateness. She often stops talking, and if you look down at her, she is just beat fucking red. She's so embarrassed. And it's still very valid to be like, Aloranel is very not good at emotions. But she's also like, either she's interpreting something weird, Siobhan's interpreting something weird, or she's just being a weirdo about anything sexual, which you also wouldn't put past her. Usually if a dude hits on her, she just punches them. That's how you've seen those
Valid.
encounters go.
Meanwhile, gnolls are just as frank about this as you could be, so like
Yep.
I'm just like, oh yeah, people fuck. Like,
Yep.
what? Why are you blushing?
Baby.
So, the group of you enter the bakery, but the
But-
gourmand has entered ahead of you with a whole slab of fish in hand and
yeah.
a song in his heart. So you open the door to the bakery, and it is more of what you would expect from a patisserie. There are baked goods piled on platters behind glass cabinetry. There are these 1.5 foot tall little mousekin. You see 3 of them bouncing around, working on different things. You see back into the kitchen behind where they're working the flour into a dough, and there's somebody stocking up at the front some of the fresh pastries. What would you like to do before the rest of the group arrives?
I'm going to pretty much pull the same thing and head up to the counter and kind of lean on it and go, So tell me what's going on with those kobolds.
The mouse-skinned woman that you had met before, her name is Basil, looks over at you and kind of slams both of her tiny paws on top of the countertop and says,
They said that I was stealing from them, but I've seen her dirty little son stealing from me.
Oh, he's dirty. Does he not bathe often?
Have you smelled them? No.
Have you?
Yes.
and she points to her nose.
Frequently?
Every time they walk by.
You don't think that's kind of weird?
I can't. And she points to her nose again.
I point to my nose.
And she looks you up and down. You might learn soon enough. Yeah.
Well,
Look, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're kobolds. It has everything to do with their stealing from me.
did you see them steal from you?
Yes, I saw him steal from me. I watched him do it.
Do you know why they're stealing from you?
Because they think I stole from them.
Why would they think that?
Because that son told his mother that I was stealing from them, which I have never done. We put that feud behind us, and I never touched it.
I did hear that their establishment had been beat up, broken, destroyed, things of theirs. Does that
So
ring
has
any
ours.
bells?
Ours has
So
been
has
at the
yours.
same. Yes, we had our windows broken. We had an entire batch of flour thrown across the room, torn up.
Interesting. I think this might be the root cause of the feud here, and I think I can help resolve this conflict, if you know what I mean. And then he'll give like a little wink.
I don't understand.
Would you like for me to take care of it for you?
Oh, yes. That would be lovely.
Okay.
What's your price?
My price is a song.
Oh, sure. I love to sing.
You must sing with me.
Okay. Where?
Great.
When? What?
Soon.
You know what? Doesn't matter. I'm in.
Amazing. I also need a batter.
She stops and says, for what?
Delicious confectionery delights. Something
Oh.
sort of sweet, but not too sweet. Something maybe sort of corn-based, but still kind of savory. Maybe with a slight touch, you know.
She says, I think we can do that. Sure.
Amazing! Whip that up for me. Meet me in the streets.
As you finish that, the door opens, and 𝒂𝒾𝒶, a Lorinel, a unknown satyr individual, and then Javon follow.
Friends! My sweet companions!
Hi. Come on, She is stumbling over everything that tries to come out of her mouth. But you've seen Lorinel be really chill in a lot of dicey situations. This is the sort of weird, uncomfortable, awkward she always gets when anyone is remotely romantic, or like if y'all ever happen to poke fun about Javon. She gets very defensive very quickly and gets awkward. You're getting that vibe.
I'm gonna roll insight for Gourmand to accurately assess the situation. For me. Just for me. Motherfucker. You know, when I say 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, where it just like spins around.
Oh.
Yeah, there used to be a commercial back in the day for some sort of thing, and it would spin around like the toilet before going into it.
Mm-hmm.
That happened on a natural 20 and then settled and flipped over on a 2.
Well,
Well,
So
this is a
Necro's
great
got
time for me to remind you.
advantage if you want it.
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Natural
one?
one.
Fuck yeah.
I think
So,
Oh
go
my
ahead.
God.
What do you
Gonna
think?
use
What do you think?
inspiration?
I think this is a sign. No, I think this is a sign,
Okay.
and I think it needs to be this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Valid.
I'm getting a
Mhm.
cosmic, and I'm just gonna be like, check out this fish that I got. Look at this. Smell it. It's beautiful.
Look at that. That's great. You got fish. I made a new friend.
Oh, hello.
You look back, and Cyrus is leaned against the door jamb,
He leans
and
a
he's
lot.
got this. Between leaving and getting here, he's got this little vest on now, and he's just running a finger from his collarbone down his chest to his abs, making hard eye contact with you.
And I'll meet it and go, and then just turn away.
Oh, you changed outfits. I didn't notice that.
Oh,
That's-
yes, I got tired of the previous one. I felt that something more formal needed to be for our new occasion.
You're not even wearing a
Spend
shirt. It's just a vest over your chest.
Over my
You
what?
like fish?
He says, I adore fish, yes.
Catch a whiff of these bad boys. And he opens the terrestrial, butcher's parchment.
He leans down and he takes a deep sniff of it and he says, well, I'll have what you're having.
Oh, I bet you will, you dirty, dirty man. And then I'll go back out into the streets.
Oh.
Cyrus looks at the two of y'all and says, is he okay in the head? As
Oh,
the door closes.
the gourmand?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's, I think he's got a lot of stuff figured out that we don't quite get, honestly.
Interesting.
This is very fun for me. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Thank you, friends, so much
Thank
for
you.
being
That was
here
so
and
fun.
doing this for my birthday.
Mhm.
That was so kind of you. I love spending time with y'all, and we always have such a
Absolutely.
great time. Thank you.
I
for being
love
wonderful
being a
people.
chaotic, silly guy in D&D. This really gave me an excuse to do that.
Thanks for watching. For more content, you can check out these videos, or my stream on Twitch, or my reaction content on TikTok. All the links are in the description. Have a great rest of your day.